So welcome again to this series on the principles of power. I'm going to talk about the sixth principle of power, 6 of 8, which is to do with symbols, and in particular that power is enhanced through symbols. Now, if you think of symbols of power, there are many and all sorts of different kinds. There's, if you think back to the British Empire, there's the sceptre and orb held by Britannia. There's the Merlin's wand. More sinisterly, I suppose, there's the image of the swastika billowing on a flag. There's a clenched fist, a military parade, the ring on the papal finger, the palace, the limousine, a whip even, uniform, a coat of arms, the presidential balcony, or in a more corporate setting you might think about the corner office, or the boardroom table, or the parking space. So all of these are different symbols of power. So given that how diverse they all are, and you could think of many more, I'm sure, what is it that unites these symbols of power? And of course, as symbols, what's essential about them is that they're seen, that they're visible. Their purpose, after all, is to project something, to project a message about the power of the person whose symbol it is, and therefore they cannot be hidden. They need to be on view, on display. But actually it's precisely because of their outer quality, their visual quality, that symbols are ultimately false. And because generally power is superficial anyway, it's something that's bestowed through high office or what have you. People in power often look to symbols to enhance that authority. It creates a sense of what that authority, that power might be. But of course, a symbol in itself is not powerful. It's just a suggestion of power. It's a promise of power, but it's no evidence of power. Symbols are kind of strangely superficial, and yet, if they were, purely so superficial, why do they become so powerful? Why do they have such a resonance for people? And I think it's because it, in a sense, doesn't matter what the symbol is. It's that it's a placeholder for those without power, the powerless, those looking up to the powerful, to project their own fantasies onto it. They beam those projections onto the symbol, so the symbol fills up with meaning for them, and it becomes at least as satisfying as anything real that might lie behind it. So I guess the paradox is that although symbols are kind of superficial, it sort of doesn't matter, or it serves the interests of power anyway. And in a certain sense, symbols over time become power itself. They start off, as I was saying, just as a promise of power. They're no evidence of power. But because they're infused with the longings, the aspirations, the fears of people without power, they take on powerful status. So they have this sort of paradoxical, powerless, powerful ability to enhance power. So that's the sixth principle of power, that power is enhanced through symbols, even though symbols might initially seem to be arbitrary or merely superficial, but it seems to work. Power is enhanced through symbols.